It wasn't the Democratic Party. It wasn't evil leftists. It wasn't fill in the blank. It wasn't anti-whites or anti-Christians or any of those fantastic conspiracies. It was right there in your face. Profit motive. It was capitalists deciding to, when the workers won their higher wages, often through heroic struggles. It was a decision of their employers. Now it pays us to get that machine. Now it pays us to go overseas and hire much cheaper workers. Now it pays us to push immigration so we can hire lower paid workers. That's what it was. That's the people who did it. And they didn't do it because they were pro or anti-Christian, white, or anything else. They did it for the profits thereby won. And that's how they survived, because that's how capitalism works. And so why was this story not told? The story was not told because the blame it finds falls on capitalism and capitalists. And at least since the Second World War, any argument that blames capitalists for anything is rendered taboo. So the right wing comes along, and what does it do? It protects capitalism, which is what the right wing has always done, by telling a story that fits with the suffering, the bitterness, the anger, and the resentment of white male Christian populations, tells them a story in which the blame goes everywhere but the capitalist. That's the part that's forgotten. That's the part, if it isn't forgotten, that comes at the end of the speech. That's the part where there's some theater that we're going to deal with it, but no reality. Nothing really happens to change the situation. And so the workers keep losing out who were close to that American dream. And their bitterness gets worse. And the only social forces talking to them about what's really happening to them, the grain of truth that they are being replaced, blames the people who replaced them, as if the machine did something, or the poor Chinese worker did something, or the poor immigrant desperate to escape the poverty of Central America is the cause of the problem. None of those forces causes anything. Capitalism and the profit motive is the issue. So here comes the crucial question, which we will address in the second half of today's show. Why hasn't there been a social movement, an argument explaining to the American people what I've just said? That the notion that you should be angry at immigrants is absurd, just as silly as smashing machines by Luddites was 200 years ago. Why isn't there an alternative story about what happened to these people that would draw their support and get their understanding? Why has it been left to the right wing to tell its fantastic conspiracy story, offering a systematic alternative explanation of what has happened to white male Christian workers and to all the others who've suffered loss of jobs, loss of wages, loss of a decent life? We would give them a way to understand that would not have us destroying each other, not have us at each other's throats, not have half of us believing in conspiracy theories that the other half of us find to be terrifyingly weird. If we don't, let me put the question to you. What else is going to stop the movement of this country towards more and more explosive divisions?